When you understand subdivisions, we're always playing in a subdivision. It's like a mode. It's like, say, we're playing in a minor mode. So when we play triplets, we're in swing mode, so we're swinging. 8th note, 16th notes, we're playing something that sounds a little bit more square. You know, to me it sounds more like a square, and triplets are rounder. And you can go in between. That's why like quintuplets are so important, because they kind of go in between. Like swung is between 8th notes and triplets. So to play good licks, you need to master all these things.
everybody, it's Kyle here at Drumeo, and today we're live, obviously, with Stephane Chamberland.
Always a great thing to be live. We love it.
That's right. So for those of you that are first time joining us, welcome. Today we're going to cover guilty pleasure drum licks, but we're going to get into that in a second. First of all, I want to give you a big welcome to Drumeo here, and thanks for coming out and hanging out with us.
Thank you very much. It's a big pleasure.
Awesome. And maybe tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been playing drums since it's been a while. I was 3 years old when I started.
Wow.
And now I'm working as a professional drummer, playing with different bands, freelancing. I'm playing with my main projects, the Carl Mayotte Fusion Quintet. And I'm teaching, I'm doing clinics. I'm trying to do as much as I can because drumming is my passion. I love it so much, and I feel like I'm still learning, and I'm a student, every day I learn.
Awesome.
And Drumeo is a big part of what I do. And I was telling you, at night, what I do is I watch Drumeo instead of watching a movie by myself. I play Drumeo, and I learned so much. It's amazing.
I kind of do the same thing, actually. Yeah. You spend half your time in Canada, half the time you live in New York as well, right?
Right.
So if you want to get some lessons with Stephane, you can actually check him out, find him online. He's out there and willing to help. So
thank you very much.
All right, so let's get into this. So we're going to talk about guilty pleasures licks. So what this is those fun, cool sounding licks that we all want to have in our bag of tricks, and sort of how they're going to relate to all the other things we need to know. We were talking about this earlier. It's like guilty pleasures licks. Well, what is that? Well, that's cool chops, cool licks, cool things. But where do they come from? Where are they from?
Right, and a lick usually is being played in the moment, improvising. And what we usually do, we write it down and we learn it, and then we take it and put it anywhere. Well, sometimes it doesn't fit. You want to make sure you understand how to create licks, and if you understand how to create them and you open the structure a little bit more, then it's fun because you know how to create in the moment.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's what I want to do today. I want to give you a strategy so you can create your own licks with a couple of baseline, but you'll be able to do it, and it's going to be really fun.
Fantastic.
So the first thing, we're going to talk about groupings, because of course groupings and subdivisions are really important to understand. Mm-hmm. So subdivisions, of course, like quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, triplets, quintuplets, and you can fit many groups of notes in one beat. Yep. You can go up to 30-second notes, like 8 beat per 8 hits per beat, or it could be also 9, 12, there's no limit. So when you understand the subdivisions, we're always playing in a subdivision. It's like a mode. It's like, say, we're playing in a minor mode,
Right.
So drummers, we have the same thing with kind of subdivision. So when we play triplets, we're in swing mode, so we're swinging. 8th note, 16th notes, we're playing something that sounds a little bit more square. To me it sounds more like a square, and triplets are rounder. Mm-hmm. And you can go in between. That's why quintuplets are so important, because they kind of go in between. Like swung is between 8th notes and triplets. So to play good licks, you need to master all these things.
All right.
Groupings now are just patterns related to numbers. So if I say 3, so we take a group of 3. What can we do with 3 notes?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
It's endless. The possibilities are endless. So let me give you an option here, and you can create your own. I'm going to do right, left, and bass drum. And I was so inspired to do this because years ago I took some lessons with Rick Gratton. Mm-hmm. And with Jeff Salem, actually, in Toronto.
Two great Canadian drum instructors. If you've never heard of Rick Gratton, there's a great book called Rick's Licks. Yeah. And it's kind of the father concept of what you're showing.
Completely. Yeah. And they both were talking about Gary Chaffee. Mm-hmm. And this is crazy. All the great books. Gary's has so many great material out, so check it out. It's really important. So 3, right, left, and bass drum. So that's the one I'm going to give you. So first exercise, we're going to play it as it is, right, left, bass drum, only on snare. And it's going to sound like this. it's easy at first, but you want to play that in many different subdivisions because you want to free yourself to create. So something I love doing with my students is just playing the same thing and you're going to just count something different. So before playing with the metronome and thinking about the subdivision you're going to be playing, start with just counting numbers while you're playing something. So your reference would be how it feels in your hand and in your body while you're counting. It's not easy to do. Check this out. So now I'm going to be playing the same thing, but at the same time, I'm going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's kind of an independence at the same time.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So. And so on.
Right.
You want to do fives, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that's a great one, yeah.
Right. Or like I did, when I said 4, I counted the 16-note subdivision, which is what we're usually using 4, 4. But now 5, check this out. So same grouping, I'm not changing it. And so on. You want to do 6, 7, and it's really hard to do because you have to really focus on what's happening with your body while you're counting. So it really is an independence thing.
And in case you're wondering, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that?
Yeah, to get comfortable with the grouping, like numbers, but also the subdivisions.
Right.
Because, for example, if I'm playing this in triplets, it's easy. So my hi-hat is going to play quarter note. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 1 triplet, 2 triplet. But let's say 1, 2, 3 for now. If I move to 16 notes, same thing, but 1 E and a 2. See? So now it's great because you're going to be able to use it at so many places, which is what we're looking for.
It creates different tension depending on where you're placing it, how you're using it.
Right.
Yes.
And you understand groupings and subdivisions at the same time. Just
cool. So how do we take that idea and make it into a guilty pleasure lick?
Right. So 3. What can I do with 3? Right, left, bass drum. So if I talk fills, first of all, I can play ghost notes and accent, and it's so important to play with dynamics in your playing. It creates shape. So for now, let's take accent with the right hand, and the left hand is going to be the ghost note. So, and it's, to me, this is amazing. It's just that. I mean, it sounds so much better. So. So it's a great feel, really great feel. So.
Awesome.
So just now it's better because of one ghost note.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, ghost notes are supposed to be really, really soft. And I sometimes with my students, they have trouble, just playing really soft on the snare, which is, I understand because we're learning like to play really loud, and drum set is a loud instrument. So playing ghost notes needs a little bit more understanding of technique. And I'm going to talk about 2 motions that I had the pleasure to learn with Jim Chapin and Dom Famularo, of course, and upstrokes and downstrokes. And probably, do you know what are upstrokes and downstrokes, Kyle?
I do.
I put you on the spot right here. So upstrokes, 2 strokes in a row, so a softer stroke followed by a louder stroke, right? So if I do this here, I'm playing an upstroke.
Yes.
But I'm not playing a ghost note. So what I need to do if I want to control the ghost note is to change a little bit of my fulcrum. I'm going to go a little bit more front hand. So we've got like front hand, mid hand, and back hand.
I like
right?
that.
So the logic of it is if you need more bounce and more rebound, you go here, which is amazing. I use it all the time. If you need more power, you go here. And if you need more control, you go here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is more like a classical approach, but it's really cool when you're front hand because when you move to the position French grip, this finger is helping all the other fingers, which is pretty cool. And also I can snap a little bit more from here, like classical timpanis. You know, they do this staccato technique where they snap. So I can do the same thing. So upstrokes, I'm going like this, up and down. And because my arm is going up, we're in the informal techniques. Mauler. So we're not using only the wrist. Wrist would be formal.
Yep.
We're using arms, so it's informal. So check this out. I'm going up here, but as I'm going up, I need a very soft stroke here. So what I teach now, and this was actually inspired by a drum teacher up in Quebec, Denis Pouliot, and he just showed me this, and I was like, oh, it makes so much sense. So you want to put one stick on your snare drum, or it could be your hi-hat, doesn't matter. If you see well, I'm going up from here. So by lifting and rolling on my stick, it's the exact same motion and position I need to play that ghost note. It's that soft, really, really soft. If I do something like this, it's soft, but it's not a ghost note.
Right.
I mean, it's softer than this, but it's a softer note. Ghost note is here. So it's really important. And while I'm traveling up here, I still have access to that ghost note up until I reach this point, which is pretty cool. And I was telling you earlier, like when I play traditional for jazz, it's cool because I use more of the tip of the stick like this, but I sometimes just use match, but I go here when I'm going up playing, preparing for an accent. So see, I'm getting really soft strokes even from here. So be really careful when you practice upstroke and downstroke. If you want a very small ghost note, stay close. Chapin was always saying like the stick is really heavy, tip of the stick is really heavy, and you can't really lift it until you reach that point. So it's super important.
And it's almost like you're pivoting where that other drumstick is.
Completely.
Exactly, yeah.
Completely. Like this. And something else really important, if you play a Mahler stroke like this, like would be, if you look at It's Your Move by Dom, it will be called a low Mahler. You can use the low Mahler like really soft, just by, it's a cool motion, it's really fluid, really nice.
Right.
But if I wait last minute and I whip, I get more power, right? I get more power and it sounds like thicker. It sounds like I'm snapping a little bit more. So experiment with that too. So the motion is one thing, but how you play the motion and the energy you're putting in the motion. And if you're lifting last minute or last second, or if you're just creating a large motion, it's going to change the sound. It's going to change your groove.
And I think it's also key to remember here, there's so many different terms we're using: molar, low molar, accent rebounds, upstroke, downstrokes. Right. They're all basically explaining and encompassing in this, not the same things, but the same world. So you just need to pay attention to the strokes, the motions, and the results, and the intent is really what we're trying to capture here, right?
Completely.
So, no matter what you call it or which one you're using, it's the idea of getting those motions and using them to your advantage.
And they're so natural, a really natural motion. Now if I go from a loud stroke to a soft stroke, same concept, you want to stay really low. And these things I changed a little bit because before I was accepting rebound a lot, which is good for certain musical situation, but sometimes you don't have enough control to, ghost notes are supposed to be played controlled. You're not supposed just to use a rebound or let the stick go. You want to really play the notes if you want them to be precise.
Yes.
And at the right place, right? Okay, that being said, let's apply it to the lick. So moving around the toms, really cool, but can I create a groove with that?
I don't know, can you?
Kyle, can we create a groove?
I sure hope so, because it sounds like you're going to try to.
So what I'm going to do, so when we say groove, we think like a cymbal, snare drum, and bass drum in the basic. So same thing, I'm going to play here. So right, left, and bass drum. So. See how I'm pressing on the pedal right here, so I get a very precise sound? I'm not doing... I'm really pressing hard, so... So precision is the key right here. So if we start playing this, sounds like a beat, but something is missing. So what's missing? Kyle, what's missing?
I think we need some sort of a backbeat somewhere in that.
Right.
We need something to reference that.
So yeah, so the secret is to bring my right hand on the snare once in a while. So if I want a backbeat on 3 or 2, it's really cool. So check this out. A little bit faster. Already it sounds like something
absolutely
groovy. So that's one thing. I love moving my right hand between toms and hi-hat as well, and the small tom. I don't know why, it's just a personal taste. I think it sounds good, a combination. Like... So it's just a group of 3 notes, right? Now you can, of course, create your own. You can go left, right, and experiment. Now let's move to 4. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 1 note in the middle. So one left hand. So it goes right, left, left, right, left. Again, you want to practice this in all subdivision. But for now, we're going to stick with 16th notes. And I'm sure you guys can play it with me. So if you're sitting at your drum set right now, come on, come on.
Do it. Come on.
Teamwork here. So, right. So press on your hi-hat, ghost notes really, really low. And now I'm going to move my right hand around the toms.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
Love it.
Now, let's change it into a groove. So what's the secret? Here. I'm going to bring my right hand on the snare. So.
Fantastic.
Bang.
Love it.
I love it too. It's really fun. It's fun to play. And the ghost notes are so fun when they're played really soft. It makes me want to dance.
Absolutely. And the ghost notes are everything. Like if you're watching that in the shot where we have your left hand, you can see how controlled your left hand is and how you're talking about being so consistent, and it's that kind of motion that it's the engine driving that pulse and that groove, because it's filling the space in between those two dominant notes, between the hi-hat and the bass drum and the hi-hat and snare drum.
You know, sometimes when you're soloing, you have to bring the ghost notes a little bit louder because you're not going to hear them.
Right.
But groove-wise, I was watching David Garibaldi and Bernard Purdy, and I was amazed by their ghost notes. You know,
I think by the end of this lesson, we're going to mention every major drummer in the past 20, 30 years.
Please.
I'm kidding.
Please.
No, it's great.
Big list.
It just shows how we all learn from everybody, right?
Usually. Oh, of course.
Let's get into, I want to talk a little bit about, I might be throwing you for a bit of a loop here, but that's okay.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to take a shot at it.
I follow your lead, my friend.
So we talked a bit today about how to use rolls in this idea using 5s and 7s and 6s. And I think let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rolls are so important because, first of all, when you play with dynamics, they can create that bed for your accents. And again, playing the rolls really soft. And I was inspired by Paul Brochu to do that, because I've been taking lessons with Paul for 2.5 years now. And every time he's like, okay, your ghost note has to be, really soft. So he made me practice playing a double stroke roll, but like all ghost notes.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to do, so I'm gonna do my best. Check this out. So I'm gonna do it slow and speed up a little bit. So what it does is it's great for rolls in between accents, because every time I hear a rhythm, like an element, like we talked about subdivisions, so you can take out a couple of notes from a subdivision, like 16th notes, you can take out like one note, like the second note, and you're gonna get 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4. So when you take out notes, it leaves space for rolls.
Right.
And that's a tactic I'm using for, when I improvise and for, I guess, rhythm interpretation.
Yeah, for sure.
So what you can do is just play like 5s and 6, 6-stroke roll, 7-stroke roll, and make sure you open the roll so it sounds even. You don't want to have a space after your accent. So for example, if I play 5, like right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, 6, right, left, left, right, right, left, and then you come back 7, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. So just look at the PAS, like all the rolls rudiment.
Yeah, the rudiment. That's right, PS.
Yeah, and I'm sure Drumeo, you guys have like just tons
absolutely
of lessons about that.
5, 6, 7-stroke rolls.
Right. The new thing, I guess, is to make sure you play all the ghost notes when you're rolling. So let me give you an example. So if I do stuff like this, like. So what's happening is I'm playing all the rolls, and you can hear that sound that is always there, and accents are just popping out, which is so much fun. So I can hear something like ka, ka, da, ka, 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 and just roll in between. And inside the rolls, maybe 2 cool things. The drags, ruffs or drags, are actually 3-stroke rolls. So right, left, left. So they could be part of the same family, and I use this a lot. Like it's almost the grouping of 3 we did. So. And they're super important because you can use them as transitions, and I did a little bit of that inside my my improvisation. So. So to get there, just take 16 notes, play one accent, and just roll all the other notes. So if 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4, just 1. And you take 2 notes. 1. 3 notes. So it's just so fun.
Can you give us like just a quick improv on doing just that?
Yeah,
So
of
accents
course.
1, 2, 3, and just around kind of how you might play with that.
Of course, and I can move between different subdivisions as well. You'll see.
Fantastic. And I think the key there is, of course, like you say, it's pick the accents and the phrasing you want, and it's all the doubles that are underneath that are keeping everything sort of flowing and that space available, right?
Completely. And to make sure you relax, because we're most of the times we're rushing a little bit too much. Even myself, have to remind myself, okay, just relax, because you have to open the rolls. What I mean by open the rolls is you don't want to play them really like too close and there will be space. You want to have full rolls and relax, of course, and listen to what you're playing so you can repeat and create musical phrases. So if you're just thinking like technical, like 5, 6, 7, it's gonna be like it's not gonna be musical. So if you do like I did, like something like one phrase, right? So take that and repeat it. So repeat it and then create a second phrase and repeat the phrase and come back to the first one, like. So you can vary it a little bit. You can change it sometimes, but it's more like a variation, and it's not like, I played something completely different.
Totally.
Relaxing, and try to listen to your playing from outside, which is, we're all working on that stuff. And
absolutely.
You need to record yourself. It's part of we were actually talking about that earlier. Record yourself and always make sure you listen back to your playing and compare it to your goal, to your favorite drummers and what you want to accomplish. Knowing how you want to sound is super important. It's kind of it's a mature thing, because you need to know your taste, you need to listen to a lot of music, but after a while you're gonna listen to your own sound, know how you sound, and correct all the imperfection of your playing so you become the best version of yourself. But to do that, you need to record your playing all the time. So it should be, to me, it's like one of the main things, with my students, it's like I get a pair of in-ears, and every time they're during a lesson, we record and we listen, and I do the same thing, and it's harsh. My God, it's harsh. It's hard to do because sometimes you love your playing, sometimes you're like, that's not good. I should have played something.
The old expression is the tape doesn't lie. We don't use tape anymore, but the hard drive doesn't lie. The flash drive doesn't lie.
It's hard to do, but guys, please do it. It's
And we were just talking about this earlier, this exact concept and this topic, in that how different when you think as you're playing something feels.
Yeah.
You go, I'm in the pocket, this feels so great. Then you go back and listen to it and go, whoa, that sounds like garbage.
Completely.
Right? And sometimes you learn that it's it sounds silly to say that the way you feel is wrong, but it's not. That's not it at all. It's just to capture a feel or an attitude or style.
Right.
You have to make those adjustments.
It's connecting with reality. It's like, some people, they don't hear their voice. They don't know how they sound. So you would record them saying something, and when they listen back to it, they're like, oh my God, that's not my voice, know? But yeah, this is your voice. And the reality is, if you do it over and over again, you're going to connect what you're hearing to how you really sound. Like, because I'm speaking a lot and by doing clinics and stuff, so I listen back to me, I listen to me talk, and at first it was really hard, but now it's like, okay, the way I hear myself, it's what I'm hearing on the tape. So it's same thing with your playing. And also make sure you use play-along tracks or music, because how you place your groove with the music would be a different experience. You could be playing something by yourself or to a click, but if you play with the band, the elasticity of the music and everything, you have to also listen where to place your notes and where to place your feel and the groove. And man, I'm so passionate about
Absolutely, you are. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure having you here.
Man.
Before I forget, though, you may have noticed that he likes to talk a lot about his playing and studying drums. You love it so much, you've written 2 books.
Yeah, well, actually, I co-wrote a couple of books with Dom.
I would like
3,
to.
actually.
I think you wrote them, and Dom maybe just got a little bit of help in there. A little bit. Sorry, Dom.
No. There's actually the weaker side.
Weaker side.
Drum set duets.
Drum set duets.
I was also part of pedal control.
Pedal control.
And I had the chance to work on the second version of a stick control, actually.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so it was really hard to do because I have to resize all the notes and stuff. It was really a very detailed job, but man, I'm so glad I did. When your name is in stick control, thank you, Dom. It's amazing.
Right. And if people want to check you out, where do they find you?
My website, stephane.chamberland.com. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, so I have an official Facebook page. So, nowadays it's easy to reach anybody. So Stephane Chamberland, easy to find.
If you like what you've seen today, come over to drumeo.com, check us out. We shot a bunch of cool stuff taking this idea, and we've expanded it amazingly well. We've got a whole bunch of cool stuff with some cool licks and fill ideas.
It's amazing.
And, Stephane's going to cover. We've been playing some great blind listening exercises, and we're doing some stuff on some chart readings. Really cool stuff coming up. So if you want to check that out, over at drumeo.com for sure. I'm going to leave it there. You're going to play us one more song?
Yeah, now it's Mirror. Miroir.
Yes, now it's Miroir. Thank you.
Miroir.
Yes. Which is a great track. I'm going to leave you to it. Thank you so much.
Man, it was a big pleasure.
Such a pleasure. Thank you all for joining us today. Let's enjoy one more piece from Stephane, and I'm going to be out of here. So thanks, everybody.